Hi everyone, I'm Mirinia Garcia. Thank you so much for tuning into our page, A.I.R, where we clear the air in the artistic world and other parts of the region. So thank you again and stay tuned. Our interview for today is Mariah Brandon. She is a dancer, choreographer, artist, singer, actor, whatever you name it. But yeah, so stay tuned for our interview. Hello. So we are here with Mariah Brandon, a close friend of mine and an artist here in Pittsburgh. Mariah will be going to the UK, right, for school. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So I will be attending the University of Salford in Manchester, United Kingdom, England. And I'll be going for choreographic processes and professional practices. I will be living with a fellow company member, Hallie Matheson. She's also attending the university, so IBG represent. So there I'll just be exploring like my own self and my own choreographic practices. I'll also be learning some like pedagogy and some teaching practices and getting some real world experience, as well as just meeting people from across the world, which I'm super excited about.
That's super dope. Can you tell us your experience of that process of like what to expect and what you weren't expecting of doing this traveling?
So I guess what I expect through traveling is to kind of broaden my dance horizons, like to, I don't know, in the US we have like a certain aesthetic for dance, and I feel like the rest of the world has different styles, different aesthetics, different methods, and I just want to explore all of those. And you can't really do that here unless you are taught by a teacher who's been elsewhere. So I want to be that teacher also to kind of open up my students,
Open those opportunities for other people.
And younger, because I feel like it took me a while to like actually step out of like this box, like ballet or like
that specific pathway that you were like taken in,
that you know about, that you like have been told this is the way the dance goes.
That's a good thing to think about also. Like I even have those like same thoughts, but like why do you think that happens in the dance world? Like even our teachers growing up, do you think like they want us to like think that only way, or do you think they just don't want to take us that far in that education of dance? Like why do you think?
I don't think that a lot of people have branched out. I don't think, maybe out of fear or out of like because the world has been so small. Oh, this looks bomb. Thank you.
We got nachos. This is crazy. Do you see that?
This is awesome.
And he said he wanted limes. No limes.
No limes.
Okay. So we'll pick at that.
Okay.
Should we get some plates? Should we get plates? No plates? Okay, no plates. Okay, we can just eat it then. We'll just eat and talk. So these are made by A.J. Hammer. A.J. Hammer's nachos. This is chicken and steak.
I want a good piece. Over here.
Yeah. Just brings out the food randomly. But yeah. Okay. So you were saying that maybe our teachers haven't stepped out of that comfort zone to tell us, or
to know themselves, to be able to tell us. Do you know?
Okay.
So it's not like they're keeping it from us as much as they just don't know. You know,
they don't want to tell you the wrong information.
I know a lot of studios, especially just like recreational studios, have, I guess, regurgitated their students to become teachers. So that really doesn't help your younger students, because the only education that student who's now a teacher has is through the same studio. So they haven't broadened, they haven't like experienced other techniques to like really develop their own teaching style and their own dance style. And I think that's kind of like, I don't know, like that should be like a regularity, is to have a higher education in dance to become a dance teacher, because you have to do that in a regular educational institution. So why wouldn't you in a dance, especially dealing with kids' bodies, you know?
Oh my god, and bodies. That's another conversation. Talk about this food. This food is spicy. I can feel the spice.
Well, that's because you gotta dig. You gotta actually
There's a lot of food. I can't eat all
3
this.
layers.
There's 3 layers. Alright.
Oh,
Some of this
Real nachos
chicken.
are made.
there's chicken and then there's steak at the
Chicken
bottom.
on top, there's steak and chicken on the bottom.
How long did this take you, AJ?
10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yep.
I can't do this.
It could probably take you 4 hours.
Speaking of food,
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite fast food?
fast food?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Because nobody cares about dancers talking about bougie ass food.
Mm.
I think I know it.
Yeah, you probably do. Okay, so although I understand some people might find this like, because I'm an ally for LGBTQ,
Mhm.
okay, but I do love Chick-fil-A, and I know that there's like a
thing.
controversy, and I understand. I don't eat it a lot, but like the Chick-fil-A sauce is what has me. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And they have like it looks just real chicken. Like, it just tastes different than every other place. But you know, Wendy's 4 for $4.
Wendy's 4 for $4.
You know, girl on a budget.
I mean, yeah. They also have really good chicken sandwiches.
Mm-hmm. And then chicken nuggets.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I kind of like those too, and I also liked coming here in Pittsburgh. I like a lot of like subs or hoagies,
Mm-hmm.
and I got introduced to Penn Station, and that was one of like my favorite go-to.
Have you been to Permanis?
Yes, I've gone there with AJ once. I got like super heavy duty sandwich with like the knife stuck in the middle, but I've only been there once, but never again. But I enjoyed it.
I love that they put fries on everything. That's like my thing.
Well, that's a Pittsburgh thing, isn't it? I know whenever Edwin came here, my brother, he was like, there's fries
You know why?
on everything. Why?
Because Pittsburgh is the second most Irish area in the world.
Is it?
Yeah.
And Italian.
No, it's the second most Irish area in the world.
Irish.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Other than
drinking.
Boston.
Other than Boston. Yeah.
Because Boston Celtics,
Okay.
Celtic, that's the whole religion. What's your favorite brand?
My favorite brand. I don't have a favorite brand. I like Adidas.
That's what I was gonna say.
Adidas pants. I'm not, even though I'm not a soccer player, I like their stuff.
Me
What
too.
does Adidas have to do with soccer?
Because I feel like that's their brand that they always use for
You know the
soccer.
beginning of Adidas?
No.
Have you ever researched it?
No.
You should.
But I guess I'm just assuming because everyone uses Adidas.
Just because
For soccer.
the biggest thing doesn't mean it's always the
Designer brands.
I don't know. No. I only have Nike stuff because I like played a sport and they gave Nike stuff to me. Like, I would not spend.
What sports have you played?
I played volleyball. I played powder puff football despite my mom not wanting me to. She didn't want me to play any sports.
Why was she so anti-sports?
Because she's so pro dance. She
You
didn't
don't
want
get a
me,
lot
she didn't
of
want me to
those,
get
though.
hurt because, like, honestly, she wanted me to dance because she knew I loved to.
And you are, so.
But I did play, and it was fun. Because being on a team is different than being, like, a dancer, just, like, a dancer. I mean, being in an ensemble, but, like, it's still. Because you're competitive. I was never a competitive dancer, though.
In your eyes.
Yeah.
How would you explain the world of a competitive dancer and the world of an artistic driven dancer?
As a competitive dancer, from my perspective, I think that the stage presence is usually like superb. That's great. Like, they really have good stage presence. But artistic dancers are definitely, I don't know, they're just driven differently. They have different ambitions. And artistically, you're just trying to create, you know? You're not like looking for a product, you're looking for the journey. And like, as a competitive dancer, you're looking for the product.
And then that prize if there's
The product typically wins to fame.
Yeah,
If I was a competitive
I mean, you
dancer
might, yeah, I
for
mean,
3
you're
years,
not wrong.
so
Different
now
outcomes.
Which side has more money? You know what I mean?
I mean, you're right. I don't know,
That's the
like,
problem.
That's the
With the hierarchy rather than just making money. Dancers want to make money even though they didn't do anything yet, and then competitive dancers put in the work to do it, and then like the whole
They
world
get
sees
rewarded.
it. And everybody's like, oh yeah, they're so good, but
yeah.
in reality, I think both should get paid before they do the work, because otherwise, why would you do the work?
So maybe by putting more artistic dance on TV and
Yeah,
featuring
right.
it more into the
But it's-
media and the public eye, it
But
would
that
help
doesn't happen
to.
because
doesn't.
artists want more money.
they
than
want with everyone being quarantined. I think they're now seeing the purpose of performing.
I also see
Outside.
like a vast increase in film. You know what I mean? I think it's so important that like we were saying, that you just like present things in the media and put it out there, you know, for people to like access and see, so that they know who you are. And like, you might not make money off of everything you put out, but at least like you're doing these things and trying to do it and put it out
Keep
there.
your whole momentum going, especially during these times.
Social media is a powerful tool for sure.
Do you, just even like during your mom's times, like she didn't have that opportunity to share her work or her.
And I think that that's why I didn't see like branch out in my dance education until later, is because, you know, her dance education wasn't super expansive either, and she went to Point Park.
A very nice school, yeah.
Yeah, and she was a ballet concentration, and I mean, she did things and she learned these things and she taught them to me, but now there's like so many different levels that didn't even exist when she was in school. I think she was in the schools in the 80s now. Like, that's pretty long ago.
Yeah.
But like, and she does keep current on like certain, like, you know, pretty much all the aspects. She watched a lot of YouTube, but
Yeah.
but it's still, you know, you want to get other teachers in your life to expand your horizons. So I think virtually too, this whole situation,
It's everywhere now. Dance
has
is everywhere.
allowed people to be able to like take classes by Graham, or like, you know, virtually, like Alvin Ailey, like these great huge names. They can like
Where you can't
take
go
a
and
virtual
travel,
class online, just pay like $10 and like take it in
Very.
your living room, which is really cool.
And before you couldn't, you
No.
have to go in person.
And like, it's nice to see some places trying to like adapt, because that's really what you have to do. Because I don't have a foreseeable end to this stuff, so like you have to adapt.
Yeah.
You know, you got to make the
Keep
best of
going.
the situation, because
Other people are just doing more stuff, especially in film now. Like people are creating movies and dance.
I think that's yeah, and like it reaches the audience of like the virtual world now, because that's where we're at. You know, you can't perform on stages. For instance, like the Broadway shut down. If you can't perform on the stages, let's do it virtually. Like, why can't we get these people in seats virtually to see?
I mean,
shows?
and the Rockettes usually perform outside for the Christmas shows, so they've been doing it, but now it's like need that more.
Yeah, and I think it's just because the arts are so downtrodden and treated like a hobby, I guess you could say, instead of like
an actual job or a purpose.
And like sports have opened up, so we have like football back, but we don't have Broadway.
arts.
Broadway's just been pushed aside till like the end of 2021,
Because
and then we're not even
though?
paying these artists anyways
It's because
anymore.
of the money. That money.
Which company, NFL or the artistic ballet of anything, makes more money?
Well, of course the NFL.
Right.
Well,
That's why the government makes more money off them. So that's why they're more important to bring back.
Because the
It
sports
doesn't
is
make-
so much more.
It should be like equal. Like everybody should get to go do what they need to.
That it's so like out of touch, like in a age of where everything's so connected, like it's still so out of touch with like what we want as a country. And it's more like, of course, like money. Like it's all about
who has
the money and who has the power. And I think that that's just,
So do we think that we should relinquish money and power?
Power will
I don't
always-
really have money and power to relinquish, so I don't know about.
See, does your mom watch YouTube?
I mean, like,
Not a lot, but like
No.
enough,
I
right?
mean,
Like
I
she
guess.
knows what YouTube is.
yeah.
She probably knows one or two YouTubers. She's
Yeah.
probably seen a couple of the meme YouTubes.
I mean, maybe.
Probably
That might be a stretch.
Yeah, that might be, but that's still like that. Even if that's a stretch, like how many people that are close to your mom's age, because your mom's is very close to my mom's age. So like, how many people in our parents' age, because her mom's way a bit younger, right?
Yeah.
So like, people in that age are usually in power at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
at the
you're
end
telling
of the
me,
day.
you're telling me, like you're just like think about in your head, you're like convincing yourself that they don't know, and they're just choosing not to say anything, which is the
Not
truth.
weird.
They're choosing like you're saying that like a person that's similar to your mom may even be like on a lower standpoint of like the social media, because you kind of care, right? You're saying that they don't know.
They should know.
No, about what though?
They talk like there's another pathway that
No,
they can
I don't
give you
think she.
entrepreneurial.
I don't think she understands it at all, though.
Right.
Because I think
but
at
she
a
doesn't- but she
certain
knows
point
of
they
it.
like start. Yeah, she knows of it, but she can't even get into Zoom.
Exactly.
I don't think she could like
Exactly.
tell me to how to navigate and teach me how to navigate these new enterprises, I suppose, in dance. Because she, like, I start talking about like contemporary, like real contemporary dance. She's like, yeah, I don't know about that.
She only knows
She's
what,
like
like her
very-
modern, those pioneer
Yeah,
dancers.
she's like very like
old
you
school.
know, old school, I guess you could say. She's like, this
Right.
is Veganava. Like, this is what I
See,
know.
most
Losing all my innocence, yeah, body on my, riding on my innocence, yeah, body on my, losing all my innocence, yeah, body on my, riding on my innocence, yeah, on my, on my, on my, on my, since yeah, on my, on my, on my, on my, since yeah, on my, on my, on my, on my, since yeah, on my, on my, on my, on my, since yeah.
people that I've come across, because I was a DM for Panera, a Pan American group, I dealt with like 80 to 90% people were like 30, late 30s, probably early 40s, and they were all like super into it about like you can make money off investing and YouTube and stuff like that.
So they're telling you the
They
ways.
they knew these ways. And then you have the people in charge, like we're saying, who legitimately just don't know. Like they've been born and raised without YouTube.
Yeah.
And then they have kids that are like probably like our age who really don't they understand it, but like we kind of missed it. Like if we would have caught it when we were younger.
Oh,
we'd
we would
be
all of
all
we're
of
like
it.
we're catching it. We
We're
like got it
catching
better
it,
than
yeah,
they.
right.
No, but like yes.
And then you have kids below us
Who are just
who
geniuses.
are parents of people around
Our
his
age.
right?
Yeah.
Where you have like,
Or
her
her
brother,
age.
or her brother.
Pick
Like
up
her
a
brother
freaking
knows.
laptop.
Her
and they
brother
just-
knows everything about SoundCloud,
Yeah.
everything about YouTube,
I'm like,
everything about like uploading schedules. Like I literally don't. It took me 6 years of watching a single YouTuber to find out his upload schedule.
Wow.
Because he
I
said it
don't
like a
know
million
that
times. At $100, and you had to go to Home Depot. You had to go to Home Depot. Like there's nowhere else you could go, and you had to spend $100 at Home Depot. What do you spend $100 at Home Depot on?
I would get like PVC pipes and make ballet bars out of them. Or like metal bars or like wood. Just make
Give $100.
yeah.
How much does that cost? PVC pipe. That's like
PVC
$50
pipes are
for
like-
all that.
Okay, and then
So what you gonna spend $150 on?
Paint.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know. You can always use
Just
paint.
$100 for the paint.
It's a lot of paint.
All right.
Or
So now
mirrors.
if you get $1,000 and you have to go to Walmart, what's the not obviously I don't want to hear everything you're gonna get because there's $1,000. You could get like half the store. What's the first thing you're going to? Like if you get $1,000 to spend at Walmart, where's your first section you're going to? Like where are you going to first?
Electronics.
Electronics.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Get some cameras, maybe a TV,
A TV.
a phone.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't- I
Sound
wouldn't get a
system,
phone from Walmart. Unless you're going to have a big one.
headphones.
Like a big one might have an iPhone.
Yeah.
All right, you get the same thing at Target.
Oh,
Target.
electronics.
Go back to electronics.
Stationery.
Yeah, all
Yeah, the
the
cute-
I get all.
and the
all
furniture.
cables.
The furniture's really nice too.
Mm-hmm.
I would get furniture. That's hilarious.
All right, you get $10,000. You go to Best Buy. What's the first section? Because obviously the whole thing's basically electronics.
Camera section or gaming. I'm a gamer sometimes at heart.
I think like the music section. Like I would probably get like a
You can get some
vinyl player and some
CDs.
shit, yeah.
Some CDs.
Like a really cool record player.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's on my wish list. for
On your
Christmas.
wish list.
Mm-hmm. If Santa sees this, let him know. I want a vinyl record player.
Girls typically carry a purse or
Okay.
a backpack, right?
Oh my god.
So
Oh, you should show
Do you
show them
agree?
your book bag. It's really cool looking.
Like this back.
Yeah.
all girls pretty much carry a backpack or a purse. Do you agree that it's acceptable for a man to carry one?
Yeah.
Yes. You always wear
Do
them.
you have stuff? You put stuff in. the
Yeah,
bag,
it's
you
a bag.
Carry the bag.
All right.
A fanny pack,
No.
is what you're saying?
Is it acceptable for a person to get an accessory? I want you to elaborate on this. Is it accessible for a person to spend upwards of $1,000 on an accessory that they only wear once.
$1,000.
Even if they have money, like regardless, like even
I mean,
if you
but
like
I feel
have
like people
millions of
already
dollars.
do that though.
Like accessory,
An accessory.
anything.
I don't think it's acceptable.
And
I think that's
I do have a
ridiculous.
counterpoint once you
It
guys
is
say
ridiculous. I mean, only one time, yeah.
One time. All right.
You wouldn't.
That's a waste. Why are you doing that? One time? You can't wear it again? Ever?
All right. Now my counterpoint is, what about when you go to a wedding?
And get married?
As you get
Okay.
married. You
That's
spend
okay.
Like a
$1,000
dress?
you
Okay,
spend
$1,000
on
on
an
a
accessory,
dress.
which is a dress.
That's
You wear it
okay.
one time.
But I'm probably gonna wear it again.
I had a quinceanera, and my dress was way more than that.
Exactly. And so it's,
It was
it's
a-
an acceptable.
yeah.
It's acceptable for you to do it as a girl, but it can't.
Really?
Be for a
Yeah, I think so. The whole party
You
was.
see what I'm saying? See the problem in that?
What?
Because now you spent $1,000 on something. you
But
only
that's a
wear once.
memory of me. You know what I mean? Like I cherish
You
that
guys
moment.
just went.
I'm
you
still
guys
a little
just- you guys
shook.
just- You guys just went in on this topic about how you couldn't. do
Listen,
it.
no, I don't know because I'd probably like recycle the dress at some point.
People
I'd
do
probably,
this in dance stuff though, like
Right.
with leotards. Like Yumiko's are how much?
I mean, that's crazy. I don't know. I don't spend them.
Like
Some
all these
people do.
accessories, but it's because it's fashion. Fashion is taking over. It's like that's like the next thing you need to have. It's life. People, if you have the money, people buy it. Our student, not friends, students of mine are always asking like, which is like the correct pathway you should take if you come from like a competitive school or from just regular dancing and they want to like focus more on that in the future and get a degree. Like, what would be some like pointers or advice that you would give to those fellow students if they were interested in focusing in dance in school for college reasons?
I would say definitely hone in on ballet. Like, take ballet very seriously. Really work on your technique because, I mean, if you're going to think about dance, like, ballet is your bottom pyramid, you know, base. And everything else can stem off of that. When you have a good solid foundation, you can really do anything, honestly. You can even do, like, you know, ballroom. If you take a few classes, you'll probably be pretty good at it because you already have, like, a foundation, a
That
solid
would be-
foundation of ballet, which is like, you know, your core strength, your arms, your legs. It's great. A pommel, all of it. Also, I think I would just take care of your bodies, you know, like really make sure that you take care of like any injuries. Like I see a lot of competition studios with a lot of injured students, you know, because it's really focused on forcing stretches and
Getting
know,
that line,
stretching and not opportune moments. So like doing a real big stretch class and like really stretching right before going into like
That's
a
true.
rehearsal or a technique class. And I just don't think that that's smart, especially with growing bodies.
You need to have that time of
Like you should
structure
do a
with the
stretch that is lengthy and ooey gooey at the very end of class and rehearsal so that they can go home and rest and they don't need the power for their bodies and muscles. But if you take away all that power from stretching out your muscles, it's just going to cause injuries and fatigue. And I see it a lot, like knee injuries. And these are like knee injuries that could like take a kid out.
in
you know?
the future.
So like ankle and knee injuries, it's like not good. No. So I would take care of your bodies, ice, you know, rest. Don't do things that you don't feel comfortable doing, you know? Even if that feels like wearing a costume you don't feel comfortable in, if you don't feel comfortable wearing it, you should speak up and say something. Like I had to wear for, you know, we had to wear a 2-piece and I was just like, this is weird.
It's not like
Yeah.
you just had that in your head. You were like, no.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us did have that in our head for the show. When we were wearing 2 pieces, we felt a little more exposed.
And we were older dancers, like, you know, we
Mhm.
were having these same thoughts, like,
But I don't know, we came from similar, just not competitive backgrounds like you and I, so we weren't like, we didn't ever wear the competition costumes because they're pretty, like,
cutty.
Yeah, they're
very
pretty,
revealing,
I don't know,
really
very
revealing.
revealing. I don't know what the word is, like
It's not like your typical costume for
Yeah.
an actual,
ballet production.
or
Yeah.
any contemporary or any
Yeah.
stuff like that.
like a
Even for jazz.
bralette and underwear
Leggings or
that are
shorts.
bedazzled.
Yeah.
They're usually bedazzled.
Like the
For
step.
school, I think you should definitely ask for help. If you need it, ask for help.
Yeah.
Like, that's definitely something
You have to ask your teachers, definitely.
And if they don't have the answer, find someone. Just bug people.
Yeah.
Because that's really where you get things
Don't
done.
be afraid to ask questions. And I feel like even like when I grew up, like I remember me and my mom had that whole like let's talk to the teachers conversation, but like that never happened. Like the teacher came to us. It was more like we had to come to them, so that way we knew which route was best for me or for whoever that student was. And I feel like there should be that open communication, so that way like there are opportunities in the dance world. And I feel like a lot of parents still think like, again, it's just a hobby.
Yeah.
But you can do so much more with that.
And if you just open up that line, like they might even be excited to help you, because they might not have had a student been like serious about wanting to continue on with dance. And like, I don't think you should be discouraged if you feel like you're not at a good level.
Right.
Like, even I've seen people grow so much in just such a short time period. Like Francis, he came and he grew so much, and now he's like working with a company in Philadelphia, Philadanco, and he's
amazing.
He's amazing, and I still talk to him and follow him, and it's just great to see the growth from someone I saw at the stage of and he was like 30 when he came back to school. So if you like, anyone can do anything. Like, you just have to do it. You just have to really just kind of like be like, okay, well, what else do I have to lose other than in a year saying that I could have done something that was worth something? But I just kind of sat and was like, maybe not.
No, you gotta risk
Yeah,
taking.
ask for help and like just take risks, you know, like be in the front row all the time. Even if you think that you suck, like you probably don't. And there's probably somebody else looking up to you because of how courageous you were to go up to the front row, even if you don't know the combination. Because there's been plenty of times I've just been like, you know what, I'll just go in the first group, even though I don't really know what I'm doing. And you just laugh about it, right? And that's how you have fun in a dance class. You just kind of like
enjoy that process and growth. Yeah. It shouldn't be like tiptoeing in class.
No.
You should be open and free.
And I think something I like about taking classes in the UK, I found that like we close our eyes a lot and we just like improv a lot. And I think that that's so great because you don't even think about your body. You don't think about how you look. You're just like,
it's actual movement. Like, I'm moving my shoulder because I want to move. It's not like it has to look pretty.
Yeah, it doesn't have to look a certain way. It just is a feeling a certain way.
I feel like once you get older, you do get that like mind like breathing moment where you're like, wait, I can actually just do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And not like I have to have a pointed foot or like my head needs to be somewhere. So yeah, I think that realization did happen to us.
Not to say that the training wasn't important.
It is important.
It's super important. And you do have to do those things. You do have to put your head in a certain place and point your feet.
True.
But I think you also need to explore dance as more than just a perfection to be met. You know what I mean? Explore it as something that makes you feel good. That's really what it's about. And I think in America especially, it is hard to see it that way because people often want to see like perfection. They want to see the dance moms and they want to see like, you know, and I get that, but I also feel like you should make it
more than that.
Yeah, like a fun thing to do. Like that's why it's good for you, is because it's like also exercising your body and your soul.
And your soul. That's a good one.
I
And
like
your
it.
soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your soul is just moving with the melody, with everything. You're in that space creating. So yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
Thank you. You know, you hear about all the things that these directors and especially men in power have had control over, you know, these companies and what these dancers, so like these dancers have been forced to be skinny and tiny and malnourished and breaking their bodies and retiring by 30, and it's like a system that's meant to break you almost.
Yeah, and because the dancer's so obedient. It's like such an obedient kind of practice.
But I feel like now like it has been forced to change, but there is so much more to do. Like there's still such a high standard on your body. And like I've talked to audience members who have said am large for a dancer, and they're like, oh my god, that's crazy, like I would never think that. And I'm like, yeah.
Around Pittsburgh and performing in Pittsburgh, the people around us, like what do you think of now stepping out of like the college undergrad and now stepping into the real world? Like how was that experience for you?
I think Pittsburgh has a really, really awesome arts community. And I think that the people here are just so, like, the arts people here are just so warm and welcoming. Like, I've never really met someone who wasn't.
Right.
I don't know, like, who I didn't enjoy dancing with or being at a, you know, a
An
show
event.
with, you know, or conversing with, or just being, like, them being at my show.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, I've never met someone who wasn't a pleasant
Welcoming,
person.
yeah. That's good.
And I think they try to, like, amplify the arts a lot too, as much as they can. You know, we have, like, the Three Rivers Arts Festival, and we have, like, you know, the Cultural Arts District, which has, like, a lot of musical theater and stuff, which I love to go to too. And they, you know, have Pittsburgh Ballet Theater and a ton of smaller companies like Texture and Choreography and IBG. And I don't even know who else. Shannon Simmons and
Stacy Pearl.
Okay, yeah.
Stacy Pearl.
So many, like, seriously, so many.
Yeah, they're
Attack
amazing.
Theater.
Oh, BAM choreography.
Isn't Attack Theater?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Attack Theater's been here for years, though, weren't they?
I don't know.
I haven't read their history yet,
But there's so many, and it's so rich, and that's just dance. Like, there's also, like, you know, Red Fishbowl is like an
art gallery.
Yeah, and like Lawrenceville is like super artsy. It's a great place to live if you're an artist, because you can, like, immerse yourself and find people who are like you, and, like, you know,
even in musicians too. We have a friend that does that music stuff.
Clay.
Yeah.
Clay McLeod.
Yeah.
Is that his name? Nick Leod.
I didn't know his last name.
Yeah,
There you go. Shout him out.
I know. I just looked him up on Spotify because he, on his Instagram, said he's releasing a new song soon. So
there we go.
Look it up.
So yeah, there's always something happening in Pittsburgh.
So I did some, whenever, I've always been, like, artsy, you know, I
You're
was
so
like an
artsy.
artsy. But then, like, when I worked at BJ's Brew House, I, like, one day my boss was like, does anyone know anyone who works here who's artistically inclined? Like, can, like, write on this chalkboard? Because they had these weird little chalkboards to, like, advertise for their beers. So they would, like, have writing on them. I didn't realize that, like, writing nice was, like, a talent until I worked there, and apparently it's, like, this huge deal. Like, no, everyone looks, their writing is off.
It's just
It's awful. Even when they try hard. Like, no offense to anyone, but some of y'all's handwriting is questionable, to say the least. So I started off just, like, doing that, but then it, like, grew into, like, doing, like, actual large-scale, like, masterpieces with chalk.
Amazing.
And I got chalk markers eventually, because, like, working with actual chalk is, like, a nightmare. Like, the dust, everything, it's awful. So, like, chalk markers, which were still, like, washable, so I would do it on these big boards and, like, design an advertisement, and then they hang them up, and then I erase it, and of course take a picture of it. So I had tons of pictures, and, you know, it was so much fun, though. I got paid.
That's amazing.
And eventually my boss came up to me. He's like, so what do you feel about, like, doing this whole wall? And I was like...
A mural.
I'm sorry, what? I was like, sir, that's, like,
That's a
22-foot by 6.5-foot wall. Like, that's... So it was, like, this huge chalkboard wall on their beer wall. And I was like, I mean, I could try. Like, I've never done anything like that. But, like, that would be cool. So I drew something up. The first draft, he's like, nah, we can't do that. So the second draft, because I had the building. So I had, like, the Point State building. What is it called? Like, the glass building in Pittsburgh that I love.
Isn't that the scene where in Batman flies into that one? Is that the one? I don't know, maybe. I've been watching Batman lately. Anyways.
I think so.
So you did one draft and they didn't like it. And then the second one
was good. And I, like, it's, like, the stadium and has, like, a big beer thing. And,
there's a bridge on, isn't there?
yeah, there's a big bridge. I replaced the buildings with the bridge, which was good. And it's, the bridge that you actually see if you're going right past Duquesne on that road near the cliff.
The yellow one?
Yeah, with, like, the little triangles out of it. So, and there's, like, the stadium, and the most annoying thing ever was just, like, what this whole period of time, I can just remember crying, like, every day, because I was going to school, I was working, we were rehearsing extra, and then I was also doing this on top of that. So, like, I would go
Massive
in,
project.
like, Monday, Wednesdays, not Fridays, because we had morning class on Fridays, and then maybe the weekend mornings, like 7, 8 a.m. And then I would go to class Monday and Fridays at 11
oh,
because
yeah.
I had to clean up because I couldn't work during the day because it was like in
During
the dining
business,
room
yeah.
and I had a ladder and it was just dangerous. So I had to come before they opened and do it in like 2 or 3 hour intervals, and it was so annoying because then you had to like take all the things down, get all your stuff ready, do it like maybe like a patch the size of your face. And then, like, you know, it was frustrating. And then I had afraid of heights. So I had to go on this like 22-foot ladder and paint the sky, and I'm like shaking, and it's on a oh my god.
But you did it.
But I did it, and I'm so proud of myself.
What is it, 22 by what?
22.5 by 6 feet. So it's like a big rectangle.
It's beautiful. Everyone like looks at it too.
It is.
And it's still there, I think.
It is. It's still there. I don't think
not
they'll
gonna
ever take it out.
No.
I was actually working there before I left for the UK.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
And doing some
people that they like sought out, like we want someone who with artistic ability to do this for us.
And I think it grew into something that they didn't even kind of expect either. Like, I think that I don't think they expected me to be talented. Like, they knew that I was like, oh, I said I could do it, and they were like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
But I do have just like a natural ability to draw things that I see. I can't really pull things out of thin air. It just sucks that like the only problem I had, you know, if you wanted to do it while you worked, which I could do it, like they weren't upset about, I had to make sure that I was doing my job. So as like an artist,
I had to
multitask. So I had to like draw, and then like the worst was when people would like come up to the desk and they just stand there and they just like stare at me, but I would have like my back kind of turned. I'd be like focused on drawing, because if you're an artist, you know, like you're in the zone. You know, you're like doing it, and like I would like turn and I'd be like, oh my god, what the hell? Like, why wouldn't you say hello? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you just standing there? Or they like compliment me, and then I was like, oh thanks, like okay.
It was just super different to get that attention.
Yeah,
at a workplace like that.
You know, I'm just, you know, you want to focus on drawing your baby Yoda, but you can't because, you know, you got all these people that are nagging you for silverware and their food, like, you know.
But overall, it's important to like question and ask questions. Don't be afraid, because you don't know where that pathway is going to take you or lead you on.
No, and I think you should, you know, just don't be afraid. Yeah, definitely. I think you should just do what you want no matter what, and don't let other people tell you if it's cool or not, because who cares? Really, it's gonna be cool in the future. Literally, it probably will be. Honestly,
you don't know. But yeah, so this is Mariah Brandon, one of our artists from IBG and an artist from Pittsburgh who is now going to the UK again. She just traveled back just to get some easy paperwork done, but then she's going back to the UK, which is gonna miss her a whole bunch.
I'm gonna miss you.
But the university is called University of
Salford,
and what you're focusing on is, again, what is it called?
It's choreographic and like professional practices. So choreographic processes and professional.
And this is a year-long
program.
Yeah.
It's a master's degree, year-long program.
So yeah, dance can take you as far to master's, even a PhD. Dance is more than just movement. Yeah, it's bigger than that, and this is why we're creating this conversation, because we are normal people sharing this to you, so that way you get the same hopeful experience when you get older and, you know, pursue dance.
Yes,
but dance is our life. But yeah, again, this is Mariah Brandon. Thank you for coming to our mukbang style food by A.I.R, which is can't finish this at all.
But. Oh my god, but it was so good. Yeah, there was a lot in here. We ate at least a layer.
Not even. Not even, but it's a lot. It's a lot. But again, hope you guys tune back. We will be having more videos with other artists in Pittsburgh. Hopefully, we can chat in person. But yeah, thanks for tuning. Bye. Thank you, Mariah.